Hello everybody. I hope everybody's doing well during this COVID-19 deal. Hope everybody's staying healthy, and I hope also you're all ready to learn a little bit of something, even though we can't all be in school. My name is Coach Thibodeau, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something that many people have seen on TV, but can also be extremely beneficial to somebody in their own homes. That is the NFL Combine drills. Now, these drills are fairly easy. Anybody can do them, and they require little to no real equipment. You'll need 3 cones, a stopwatch if you have one, or just a regular watch with a second hand, and pen and paper to record your results. Now, what is the NFL Combine? Many people already know what it is, but for those who don't, the NFL Combine, which NFL is the National Football League, is an event where dozens of potential NFL players, which means college players like players at LSU or Texas or Alabama or any other college, are invited to compete and showcase their skills in front of scouts from each NFL team, and they're being watched on national TV all around the country and even internationally. Now, normally the combine will actually take place over a few days, and each position will be tested individually. And it is actually really quite an honor to be invited to the NFL Combine, because that means you are one of the best players at your position around the country in college. Now, one of the drills that are completed during the NFL Combine is called the 3-cone drill. It's called 3-cone drills because obviously 1, 2, 3 cones. Now, 3-cone drill is designed to test a player's agility, which means how well they can move quickly from side to side or forward and backward or something like that. And the 3-cone drill is really used to test your lateral movement. Lateral, which means side to side. So if you were on a basketball, this could be used in basketball as well. If someone's dribbling at you and they try to go to your left or right, you can go back and forth and be able to cover them well. Now, the 3-cone drill, this picture's not the best, but you normally start out here on the center drill. And if you're standing here, you'll be facing in at the cone, and whenever you're ready, you can go either this way or that way. Doesn't matter, it's your choice. But once you start, the clock starts. The clock starts as well. So you'll run. If you go this way, touch with your hand that's with the cone. So if you start here, run this way, that's to your left. You will touch the ground here with your left hand, sprint all the way to this one, touch with your right hand, and sprint and finish all the way through, sprinting through the middle cone. So you go. Ready, start. 1, 2, 3, done. And once you cross the middle cone, the clock will stop. Now, this a good time will be between around 6 or 7 seconds. If you can get around there, that's a good average time. If you can get lower, that's great. If you can get higher, there's always room for improvement. Another drill is called the L drill, obviously, because it is in shape of an L. Now, the L drill is designed to test. You're not really going just side to side anymore. You're going forwards, backwards, and around. So if you went down to try and cover a receiver, and the receiver changed directions very quickly, well, you also have to change direction very quickly. So you have to turn on a dime and then go to follow it. Now, the way you start, like this says, you can start in a 3-point stance or whatever stance you really like. Sprint forward, and each cone will be 5 yards apart. So 5 yards here, stop, follow the rest this way. You'll start here, go, touch the line with your right hand. Sprint back to the starting position, touch this line with your right hand. You'll sprint, then you'll sprint from here. You go around this cone as tight as possible, going around it, not inside, not over it, don't knock it over. Go around it and come inside here and around this cone. Again, not this way, not over it, around it as tight as you can. Come all the way around and turn one more time as tight as you can. Finish. Once you go through here, your timing is over. So start, bang, bang, around, around, and finish. Now the 40-yard dash is probably one of the most popular drills that it is done at the NFL Combine, and it is watched by a lot of people normally, and every position will go through it. 40-yard dash is simply, you'll line up at a starting line, which you can't see it on this picture, but here's the 10, you'll be 10 yards this way, and then you'll line up with your toes on the line, and then either you can have somebody tell you when to start, or you can start whenever you're ready, and the person who's timing you will watch when you start. There's the clock. Run as fast as you can with everything you have, full out, run through the 40 yards, and as soon as the player crosses the 40-yard line, time is done. And normally for like skill positions, like maybe receivers or running backs or defensive backs like that, a good time is around 4.5 seconds. If you're looking more at linebackers and the bigger players, getting closer to 4.8 seconds, and linemen tend to run around 5 seconds flat, and between 5 seconds and 5.5 seconds. Could be slower, could be faster, but it just depends on the player. The broad jump. The broad jump is to help determine what kind of explosive power, which means how much power you can generate very quickly in a player, in their legs, and propelling yourself forward. Now, like the illustration shows, you'll start here, you start standing up, normally you start standing up straight, feet together, you'll bend down, hinge your hips like this, bend them, swing your arms back, and then when you jump, you'll start to, you push with everything you have, and what helps you go forward, you swing your arms forward, you'll fully extend, and as you come back down, you're going to want to tuck your legs and land 2 feet together and stick the landing. You're going to want to bend your knees, put your arms out for balance. Once you stick the landing, stand up straight. Now starting cone should be around here, and if you end up here, stick the landing, wait, and then you'll measure from the cone to the back of the player's heels. The final drill that I'm going to go over today is called the vertical jump drill. Now, like it says, you're jumping vertically, which means up. The point of the vertical jump drill is to jump straight up. This player started here, feet together, facing this way, and you can face that way as long as you're facing one of the ways. And then you can stay here from a static position, which means standing right here. He's not taking a running start, he's not taking a step back or anything like that. He's standing straight up, and the purpose is to gauge how high a player can jump, which is a very useful piece of information for many coaches, for say mainly receivers, defensive backs, things like that, who need to jump to cover a ball or go up for a jump ball that a quarterback is thrown to them. It's also another gauge of what kind of leg strength the player has. Now, leg strength is different to what some people think. Some people think, oh, you can squat a lot, means you have a lot of leg strength. Yes and no. Explosive power and leg strength are two different things. Explosive power will propel you up. Leg strength, you can just lift a lot of heavy things. So the point is, you start here, feet together, then you get a hinge in the hips, bend your knees, hands back, much like the broad jump, except this time you're going to want to jump straight up. If you go too far this way or too far that way, you probably won't get a good measurement and it'll affect you negatively. But you want to go as straight up as you can, and if you're lucky enough, you have a setup like this with these tabs. You want to hit the highest tab you can go. But realistically, I know many people do not have the tabs such as these, so you can work with a wall outside, or if you have the room and really want to do it, you can do it inside as well. Now, you're not going to want to be right up against the wall, because if you're right up against the wall, you could bump against the wall and be pushed out, or it could slow you down and hurt your measurement. You want to be just a bit away from the wall, and then jump as high as you can. And if you can maybe have something to mark with your finger, that's why you preferably want to do it on the outside wall, so you could just have something that could be marked and wiped away, or have somebody watch very closely and see where you hit. Now, these are all drills that, yes, they do pertain to football. Yes, they're very relevant in the NFL Combine, obviously. But these also translate very, very well to any other sport. Vertical jumps are in basketball. Basketball players need to jump high. If you go back to the 3-cone drill, say you're a shortstop during a baseball game or a softball game. If a ground ball gets hit very hard, you're going to need to move side to side very quickly to go after this ball. It could even be outside of sports. If you, say this one, if you happen to walk in front of something and that's going very fast and you want to get out of the way, doing this drill can help you be very well prepared to jump out of the way. Or many other things like that. The 40-yard dash help you speed. If you really need to get somewhere very quickly, dashing or running is very, very prevalent and useful. So those are the drills I have for you. Now, most people do an assessment, but really it's very hard to assess one person from these drills because each person is different, and to set a bar for one person would really not be very realistic for everyone. So for this, I'd like you to self-assess. I'd like you to go through one round each of each drill, record your times, and once you record them, keep them with you, and then you can do some workouts and then come back, see if you've gotten better. If you've gotten better, great, keep getting better. And if you haven't quite gotten better yet, that doesn't mean you won't ever get better. That means you just gotta work a little bit harder, and you keep working. That's how you build self-motivation, which means you motivate yourself to do better. You always want to strive to do better, and everyone can always do better. No one, it may take a long time. It happens. These things take time, and that's how you get better. Thank you all very much, and have a blessed day.